Town. What's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and a YouTube Live. And it's a great Monday. Oh, so much stuff happened over the weekend. Oh my God, it shocked y'all. Few of y'all had, I guess, a little culture shock this weekend. Summer basketball. I mean, everything's going on. Pro basketball, football is back. Um, Shop getting the bag on Monday. I don't know what the hell he talking about, Melvin dudes. But tell you what we do. What we do as customary, we always will talk. Shout out to the starting five. And the starting five today are Melvin Dews, Kimberly Jackson, Thad Moody, Rod Wells from Los Angeles, and Daryl Anderson. I don't know where Daryl Anderson might be, but the sixth man of the day is Jason Peters. What's up, Jason? Jason in the building. What's going on? Boy, as advertised. Jimmy said he was going to be here early. Let me finish. Let me get my people out here. Let me see what else we got. What's up, Daryl Barnes? Daryl Barnes, what's going on? Daryl Barnes, why you always put the '06 up there, mate? I just want to know. You always put some '06 up there. Is it a read you shouting out to your frat brothers or something? I want to know what's going on. Mark Edwards, what's up, man? Man, I don't know what we're talking about today. I got so much stuff. Mark Edwards, I hadn't forgot you. I got your email. I haven't forgot about you. What's up, Derek Johnson? Derek, where are you today? Derek Holcomb. Ivan Pettit Jr. Who else we got? What's up, Jameson Morrow? I saw Jameson and his crew at the No Excuse Pro-Am this weekend. What's up, Shannon? Clutch Ball Media. Today should be a good one. Why should they be? Clutch Ball Media, who are you? Tell me who you are, Clutch Ball Media. Why today should be a good one? I want to know. Tell me. I thought all the days were good. Tell me why today is going to be a good one. Hey, Shanquetta, Alex. Hey, Tori, Monte. Maybe y'all have heard something I hadn't heard. Oh, okay. I know what Kim Jackson want to talk about. Come on, that's Daryl. Okay, Daryl. What's up, Reginald Simpson? Hey, Howard Johnson is in the building. My man Howard Johnson. Hold up, Michael Smith. What's going on today? Okay, Derek Johnson said Alpha 06. Okay. I just wonder what 06 mean. You know, me and Jimmy ain't no frat dudes. I guess you be shouting out to his frats on the show. I don't know what they be putting on there. Y'all be putting all these old subliminal messages on there. The University. Okay. Kyle Cole is in the building. Garrett Carter's in the building. Oops. Who else? Let me see. Man, I got to shout out to some people this weekend. I saw Jimmy was on, but he popped right back off. Hold up. Let me see. I guess he's gonna come right back on. Let me see, man. God, throwing me off. He coming too early. Wait a minute. Y'all know I can't do I can't do more than one thing. But shout out to Casey Williams, his wife, Jillian, No Excuses Pro-Am. They had a great weekend. Oh my God, they did. So shout out to the young men participated. I mean, he mixed the Pro-Am with a little high school all-star basketball, girls and boys. Gary Carter, Archie, with Archie with Forever Films. Forever, man, let me tell y'all something, man. That thing was, the boys got free haircuts. They got gifts. They got they got Air Jordan gear. I know one girl got the MVP. She got Air Jordans. I don't have her name with me, but I got a list. Cause they had, y'all, let me tell y'all something. They had a Chop Shop team and a takeover team, right? And the Chop Shop team lost by one or 2 points. but I love that Chop Shop team. Man, I wish I was there. I had something to I had a business emergency. I had to shoot somewhere and get back, so I didn't have time to come by there. But let me tell y'all some. I watched it on YouTube. It was unbelievable. Chop Shop. I thought the Chop Shop lost. Oh, the Chop Shop won. Okay, Archie. Okay, but Archie secured those kids, man. Man, it was. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all missed it, I know we had Jeffrey Day had something going on this weekend. Jimmy gonna tell us about. But Jimmy, you're there. But that no excuses, Jimmy. It had the kids. It had a dunk contest. It had a 3-point. And look, Jalen Johnson. Hey y'all, somebody call Jalen Johnson. That's my good dude. He played for the Chop Shop team. Jimmy, they had a Chop Shop team and a takeover team. And Chop Shop won again as usual. As usual. So I mean, that's just what we do. This the first time. But Sean Jones was an MVP. I'm gonna tell you, some guys who played in the game and some guys who was over, they were calling me back talking about Sean Jones. And next year, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Next year, the next program, we're gonna try to get a little younger. We're gonna try to get the old guys out of dudes like Jimmy and them that used to play a long time ago. We're gonna try to get a lot younger next year. I just like the energy of the young. It's just time. It's time. All them old guys, we're gonna let them go play in another gym. These young guys, cause they showed up and showed out this weekend, man, and it was unbelievable. Like I said, thank you, Archie. Thank you, Garrett Carter. Thank you, Jillian and Casey Williams. Man, people got free haircuts, backpacks. Jimmy, they got everything. Back to school drive. It was everything going on in that one building yesterday. And then they played the finals of the No Excuse Pro-Am. And Jonathan Simmons, I think Flight 713, Jonathan Simmons. Oh, my God. I didn't know I had that on. Jonathan Simmons and Shannon Shorter each had 40-some points apiece, and they won the championship. So I just wanted to share that with y'all and let y'all know it was. He said the haircuts were fresh. Gary said the haircuts were fresh. So they had some top barbers there. It was gear was fresh. Thank you, Gary. Gary, I couldn't see everything on video, but I'm glad you showed me that. Coach Ned, who coached Team Takeover, is still mad about the loss. Okay, okay, the Chop Shop did win. Okay, all right. I thought, wait a minute, which team was Chop Shop? Jimmy, hold up, I got it mixed up. Which team was Chop Shop? Because I was cheering for the wrong dang team. Y'all help me out. Which team was Chop Shop? I thought the Chop Shop was in orange. Help me out, somebody. Please help me. I thought the Chop, because their moniker on the screen was orange. So somebody let me know. But what's up, Jimmy? What you got? You said you wanted to come on early today. What's going on out there that got you? Oh, the Chop Shop was in the black. Sean Jones was on my... Man, I was cheering for the wrong damn team. They had the graphics wrong on the screen. No, Jimmy. They had the graphics wrong. And I wasn't paying attention to the score. So, okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, Jimmy, I want to share that. Jimmy, think about this. You had girls basketball, boys basketball all-star team, and the Pro-Am, and free haircuts, and free backpacks, and fresh gear. It was really, really crazy this weekend. And then Jeffrey Day had an event. So guess what? It was a banner day yesterday for Houston sports in the city. So I just wanted to, I didn't want to shortchange nobody, but thank you to everybody who looked out for the community this weekend. What you got, Jimmy?
Oh, man, and good to be back in the city. We're going to crank this thing up, but first, let's do this thing like old times. Let's get everybody and get in share mode. Let's share the show right now. Let's get the show circulating throughout the World Wide Web. Shout out to everybody on YouTube in the Boom Boom Room. Give us a thumbs up, and you can share on YouTube as well. Simply hit the share button, and you can share it through your Twitter or through your Facebook, whatever your social media platform. Let's share. Give us one share right now. Let's get it out the way. And this past weekend, of course, got a chance to see Archie. Give a shout out to him and his efforts for putting together that all-star teams over at the Pro City or the next No Excuses Pro Am League. Archie I saw him on Saturday. I was over at the G Days Run and Gun, which is Jeffrey Day. His birthday was Friday. So this weekend was basically a birthday bash, and this was an opportunity for a lot of people who deem themselves as supporters of Jeffrey Day or his efforts, as he has been consistently in the gyms. You see him on the baselines with a camera a lot. He's also volunteered his time on several occasions to to publish a live broadcast of some of the youth grassroots games over the past couple of years. Even during the pandemic, when he had the RL9 over at the complex over there, he produced a great broadcast. So only 6 teams came and showed support of Jeffrey Day, but it's not necessarily who wasn't there. We just showing the love to the ones that was there. So shout out to those guys: Scholar Athletes, Perk Performance, Houston Elite D Gibb. Shout out to Good Vision Academy. Shout out to who am I missing on there? I named 4. Shout out to Texas Takeover J Will, and the last one would be did I say Peak Performance or Next Level? That was the last one. Next Level. So shout out to those guys, because you know what? It was good to be able to see some players who I had not noticed all summer. And that's the thing, people, some of you guys, you take this stuff for granted. And I say it again, a person could very well be watching a game that involves your kid, but that does not necessarily mean he's paying attention to your kid. And that's a really, really, really important piece of intel. For real. You don't take for granted. Put it like this. Have you ever been to a game before and you just started daydreaming? Or you just started thinking about what you got to do later on? Or you just or you just start thinking about what your calendar is like tomorrow? Or you just start thinking about, you wonder what's going on, in another city. Guess what? A lot of people do that. That's evaluators of basketball. You come there to see a certain player, or you come there to support a certain team, but then you end up noticing another player. It's like, for example, that was a young man, what's his name, that played, and you got the chance to coach him during the tournament last month. And this young fella that played with the Chop Shop team, right? From Canada.
Right? Wait a minute. Giles?
Kevin Giles, something like that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yes. So, and you got a chance to coach him, right?
Yes. Love it.
And so just think about it. There were a couple of guys who did not know who he was, right? And they were present before. You follow me? They didn't know who he was.
Right.
Didn't know who he was.
From Canada. Jimmy's from Canada.
From Canada. He moved here. And I'm just saying, a lot of people you take stuff for granted. And I was like, man, that's the same young man, that played on the Chop Shop team. Same young fella. And he led the Good Vision team. I think they made it to the semifinals.
Okay.
One game he scored 28 points.
Jimmy, he is unbelievable. I'm just wondering what's going on. Jimmy, what grade? How does he play? He's an unsigned senior. Okay. So what is his situation? Because that kid can play in college.
Well, he's going into the class of he'll be in the class of 2022 over
Okay.
at the Good Vision Academy.
Uh-huh.
And but once again, I'm just telling you, I mean, he it's so much talent. And but the thing is this. A lot of people, I'm wondering, is it this? Is it that a lot of people nowadays they just want to get seen? And once they want to get ranked, once they're seen, once they're ranked, they're satisfied.
Hmm.
And many of you have kids out there. And if you are guilty of that description, or they may be guilty of that description, then you may need to reassess your motive in this stuff. Because that means that's almost like saying you're gonna cash out and I'm gonna trick you. I ain't gonna let the game expose me. Okay, it's basketball. You will be, if you are exposable, you will be exposed sooner or later. And I'm just the the incentive to compete, to play basketball needs to be reestablished in a lot of these guys. Now, I can give credit to the next level team, Adam. That next level team, it was a combination of a lot of guys who hadn't played together this summer. They had Seth Jones from Dickinson, Xavier Owens, who's, by the way, who's transferring. He's leaving Klein Kane. He's going to Grace Christian Academy, who's a competitor for the state championship in their TAPS division that they're in. They had Avant Coleman from Goose Creek. They had big tall Trent Burns played on that team. The 6'10" young man from Cy Ranch who played as a reserve with the Houston Hoops 16U. He's on that team. But I noticed a kid named Darrell Wilson. I had never paid attention to Darrell Wilson before. And I had to go back and check my notes, Howard. I'm like, wait a minute. He's listed as attending Elkins High School. And wait a minute. I saw Elkins play in June up in Duncanville at the TABC event. So I go through my notes. And a lot of people don't realize I keep receipts. I keep my notes. And so I had to go back and I look back. Here's a roster from Elkins. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's the roster from the coaches packet from that event. And I said, wait a minute. And sure enough, there's no young man by the name of Darrell Wilson on that played with them on that weekend. So that's why I didn't see him. He's 6'7", Adam. He's serviceable. Now
Why
he
did
makes
he play with him that weekend?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I got to find out. Mm-hmm. So somebody in the boom room can let me know. See, this is the thing. It's why you play. You never know who's watching. And more importantly, you never know who's paying attention. That's the thing we add to it. We always say you never know who's watching. But nowadays, you never know who's paying attention. And so I want to give that shout out. But once again, Jeffrey Day will have a recap posted on the front of RCS Sports. I don't want to steal a lot of his thunder until the recap comes out, which will be later on today. And he has, if you didn't check out none of the action, there is a recap from day one. It was Saturday and Sunday. He's going to put the Sunday one out. But I will tell you one thing, Hal. In the championship game on yesterday, it's a name that we've been saying consistently throughout this summer. And shout out to the Scholar athletes. They won first place at this event. This ain't the first time. This ain't their first rodeo winning the first place. But one thing about those Scholar athletes, in the summer of 2021, pretty much everywhere they went, they either won, placed, or showed. Pretty much. And those young men are predominantly from either 2 or 3 high schools. Kingwood High School, Atascocita High School, and I think one young man goes to Kingwood Park. So this lets you know, this is what I use as a measuring stick when I'm thinking about how the potency level of some of the teams. Because then you wonder, wait a minute, if these guys are able to get together from Kingwood High School and wreak this type of havoc during the summer and excel and do well, then Kingwood High School, when they're playing against non-all-star teams, they should have a nice batch of cohesiveness. But one player that we'll look out for, he had 35 points in the championship game. 35 in the championship game. He had 7 threes in the first half. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Angel Johnson.
I've been hearing that name a lot.
We all been hearing it a lot, man.
I've been hearing it a lot. Joe Baldridge.
Angel Johnson.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you. Go on.
He played out at Atascocita, one of them, Summer Creek.
Yes.
Atascocita. I've been hearing that name a lot. I haven't seen him. Angel, I haven't seen you, dude. But you and Jalen Johnson is two little dudes. You Johnson dudes, I really want to see. Because I've been hearing y'all name and pop, especially on my feed, on my Twitter, that them two names there. But I can't wait to see. But Joe Baldridge told me about him a long time ago, Jimmy, and he had his name. And Joe Baldridge always, and maybe that helps a lot too. Joe Baldridge always makes sure he texts me something about Angel, his whole team. But this Angel Johnson guy keep popping out the page on me. I can't wait to see him play.
I mean, and you remember now, they made a decision to stay in Houston during the live period, and I don't remember which event it was, the GMI or the summer or the last event that we did last month. Mm-hmm. And I remember the coach from Sam Houston State was watching him. Mm-hmm. I saw him write that young man's name down circle the young man's name in his packet. Mm-hmm. I saw this with my own eyes. Mm-hmm. So that means that coach is familiar with that name. Mm-hmm. So what I do when Jeffrey Day make his report, then I add some seasoning to it and stretch it out a little bit and send those reports to the college coaches, which will be sent out probably in the morning or late tonight.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to make note, coach, to that Sam Houston State head coach. Coach, remember the young man you saw and you watched him in the live period? This is in case you forgot, this is that same guy, Angel Johnson. Mm-hmm. And
how tall is he, Jimmy?
About 6'2", 6'1", 6'2".
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's a good size.
I mean, and he's in the backcourt, man. That's right. And Akeisha Stewart say, don't forget about Connor Miller. Mm-hmm. Connor Miller is the backcourt mate on that Scholar Athletes team.
Oh,
Connor Miller, he played well in every game.
Consistent.
He had 21 in the championship game. Connor Miller was getting it in. And he goes to Atascocita. So this is what I'm saying. This is how some people don't look at. I'm giving you, I guess, some wisdom on how I look at some of these grassroots games. So I figured like this. If this backcourt, Connor Miller and Angel Johnson, they've played together for the most part of the whole summer. So think of the hours that they have been on the court together and think of the chemistry that they've developed or should have developed. Proof is in the fact that Scholar Athletes them won, placed, or showed at pretty much every event they participated in. So if that be the case, then why should we expect anything less than an accelerated amount of consistency and productivity when they get to their high school teams in a couple of months? This is the way I look at it. That's why my expectations are higher for certain programs than it is for others. With those two young men, mind you, Atascocita that ain't just it. They're loaded this year in regards to guards in comparison with teams around the area with returnees. They went to state this year. Don't forget that. They went to state. Yes, they lose some productivity with Stewart and Hart and the rest of those guys in the backcourt. But it's next man up. This is a program. This ain't just a team. And I'm like, wow, man. I'm really, really, really looking forward to. And of course, I can't wait to give you guys the schedules for the season opener. The hoops getting classic.
So it's safe to say that Atascocita gonna be in the season opener.
Atascocita in the season opener. When I give you guys these schedules, y'all gonna, boy, I'm talking about you gonna. I might have to wait and put tickets on sale when I release the schedule because I'm telling you, this is gonna be a great event. But first is the Super 16.
Okay. I'm just going through Joseph Baldridge's text. April 30th. Angel Johnson first team all session one in session one of the Circuit League. I'm just going through even Angel Johnson, Angel Johnson, Leslie Newsom, who else is named? Demi Ariala. Hold up. Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to see. Do I see the Miller kids not on here right now on this particular team time? Maybe Miller. I don't know if Miller was on there, but I'm sitting here thinking about. I'm seeing this name, Angel Johnson, keep popping up. So shout out to Joe Baldridge, because somebody said he'd be coaching his butt off over there, and but I know he loves to be in the gym with those young fellas and those and you know, I'm just sitting up and watching these high schools are benefiting with this guy's work in the summer. And I just pray to God that the coaches work hand in hand with that guy because of what he's doing with preparing their sons, their players for the league. And I just hope so. I really do. I hope so.
Yeah, man. So shout out to them, man. And of course, G-Day, we'll talk more on that. And that's the G-Day's run and gun. And happy belated birthday to Jeffrey Day. We had a cake made for him, and he didn't know about it, and presented him with the cake at right after the championship game. And meanwhile, Thaddeus Moody says, "Have your daughter start applying for scholarships now. My daughter's receiving $395,000. Put it back up, Adam. $395,000 worth of scholarship money from various organizations and institutions."
And Jimmy, that was a direct message to Daryl Barnes, because Daryl Barnes had mentioned about he want his daughter to go to that same school. Hope if the money is right. And Thad said, "Look here, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen. He's gonna help you." That's what I love about the Chop Shop.
Yeah. And I mean, so now, of course, if you just tuned to the Chop Shop, man, make sure you share the show if you hadn't done so already. Want to give a shout out to everybody out there. And on the Chop Shop, we have so much to go around the horn with today, and so much news. Of course, if you want, we're going to talk. I guess we can give you time at the top of the hour. That way, give you guys time. Then we'll dive into the conversation and the topic on Bryce Griggs going to the overtime league and signing with them. He's actually signed with the overtime elite. So we'll talk at the top of the hour. We'll dive into that conversation. So this gives you time to spread the word and gather everybody around, and I will provide a lot of facts and fill a lot of potholes that your question that you may have. Shout out to Chad Growth over in Arizona, checking out the Chop Shop today. Peace. Shout out to a guy. Saw Chad up in Vegas last week.
Chad was all over Vegas.
All over his way. Chad walking around there like he Suge. He Suge Knight around there with he had a stick in his hand, had a good piece of leaf. He's smoking on indoors. He didn't give a damn. That's Chad. That's how he's rocking out there. And shout out to Kelton Solo Solomon. Word in high school is in the house. We'll talk about him. But meanwhile, let's get into some more amateur basketball news. You know, we moved a little further. We're talking about that because there's so much we got to recognize these young puppies around there, these young bulls around. Well, USA basketball trimmed. They had the 16 and under trials in Houston this past. Well, they're still in Houston, and They narrowed it down from 27 to 16 over the weekend. And bittersweet that Wesley Yates was one of the 10 guys or so who got cut. And Wesley Yates, we talked about him all summer as one of the best shooters in the state of Texas. He's, he's thrived and boosted his stock over the summer with his play and his ability to put that ball in the hole. However, he didn't make the cut. And I have a message for those of you who are scratching your heads and you're wondering why. But first, let's acknowledge the guys who did make the cut from the state of Texas. And those four are Liam McNeely, right? Ron Holland, Justin McBride, and Houston Bel Air's own Jacob Cole.
I've never seen him play.
And Jacob Cole started the summer season with the Houston Hoops, 17U, and went over to JL3, 17U. Then decided I'd rather play with my age group. That way I went to JL3, 16U. And Jacob is a guy who's understands something. I'm gonna sip something, Haller, before I get into this right here, because I'm gonna give this to you guys straight. Yeah, you gonna take you a swig too. Do you remember back in 2017, I think it was, when might have been 2018, when Quentin Grimes went and tried out for the USA basketball team? And remember when he went tried out, a lot of the atmosphere around Houston and the state of Texas was like, how did he get the invite? He ain't gonna make it. It was a negative more so than positive. I remember it. You guys know it. It's not about pointing you out right now. I'm just revisiting something that happened. Then Quentin Grimes ended up, don't get it twisted now. Bill Self was the head coach that year. That was the 19 and under champion USA basketball team. Bill Self was his future coach, who Quentin Grimes was going to Kansas. So understand it. Just as the head coach from TCU was the coach this past year, and his starting point guard played on his USA basketball gold medal team. But back to this right here with Quentin Grimes. They ended up going and winning the gold medal. Quentin Grimes was one of the MVPs of the team. USA Basketball loved him enough. They saw something that we didn't see from not being in the tryouts that earned him a spot on the team. We wasn't there. And what sometimes we have flash moments of times that we've saw a certain player play and not realize some players, they're not looking for the best player when they pick USA Basketball. They're not looking for the best fit for whatever that coach and that staff for that particular team is trying to get in. So Quentin Grimes ended up excelling. He ended up going to Kansas. He started 28 games at Kansas. Still, people was, oh man, he ain't this, he ain't, remember remember that first game, we never forget that, how he went off and hit all them threes. I think it was against Michigan State or something like that. And then, he leveled off a little bit, but still he goes to U of H, thrives there, leads the team in scoring. They go to the Final Four. Now he's in the NBA. He gets drafted in the first round. The first draft pick since out of University of Houston, the first round draft pick since Ricky Winslow. Now, what's my point? Now, my point is this. Jacob Cole that same atmosphere, that same aura is floating in the air about Jacob Cole. Here's what I mean. You know how this stuff go when you jump sneaker teams. When you go to one program and you leave, that program is going to all of a sudden try to make it so, oh, we didn't really need him anyway. Oh, he can't do this. He can't do that. And that's what happens in this in city. That's common. It's not a specific thing on Jacob Cole, but it was one of those things whereas he's not, in other words, he hadn't been embraced. He hadn't been embraced. Most guys that come out of the city to make USA basketball had been embraced, had been anointed. So we had already anointed Wesley Yates before he went and tried out. They're two different positions, guys. Wesley Yates wasn't trying out for the same role on the team as Jacob Cole was. So I called and I checked my traps. People that was in the building at Straight Jesuit High School in Houston. The reason is that's coming out of there. The reason now that don't mean it's the how factual it is. We wasn't there, but the reason is Wesley Yates did not make the team because of his defense, not because of the offense. They needed his role to be more on defense. And guess what? That's okay.
It's okay.
For an 11th grader. Long as it's okay.
Give him something to go work on.
Yes, it's okay. So people going out there, oh man, I don't know how Wesley Yates didn't make it. He the best shooter. Okay, guess what? They wasn't looking for the best shooter. They might have needed a guy that can shoot it pretty decent, but that can defend. If defense is going to be a priority, then guess what? Only Wesley knows his efforts on defense. Only knows. That's what I'm saying. So let's stop sitting there. You understand? Now, in time, trust me, there was a lot of people in that gym. Wasn't that many parents. Parents were allowed. Wasn't that many parents, though. But they let some scouts come in. Some selected a distinct few. They got to watch it. Those coaches, it's a small world. They're going to talk. In due time, we find out more. But you go and we see, that's why we go and we get mixtape. You can make a mixtape on every damn kid there. Hitting a bucket. You think every kid went through all the games they played and didn't score a bucket or didn't have a moment or didn't hit a three or didn't get a block shot or a dunk or make the right pass at the right time? Everybody had a moment. We wasn't there. Wesley Yates, I know he's tough enough to take this, enjoy the experience, and compound on it and keep getting better. And he'll be back. As for Jacob Cole, now making the cut is not the goal. The goal is to make the team. They got to cut that thing down again from 16 to 12. So I'm telling you, don't get comfortable. Just because you're the last guy from Houston standing.
You better go to work. You
need to make the team right now.
Yeah.
You need to make the team.
Whatever he was doing, whatever he was doing to get him in there, because it's something that he's doing that they like. He need to turn it up a little bit more. Whatever he was doing. I don't know the kid, so I don't know what he was doing. You might know a little bit more, but whatever he was doing, he needs to intensify. That's all. If it was defensive, a defense. If it was rebound. Whatever it was, if it's his length, make sure you use your length for these next few days, because I know they're gonna cut down soon, Jim. And Jimmy, they ain't gonna have no more workouts, are they? Because they're at 16. They're gonna have another workout?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they was just gonna go in and just go through the thing and pick it up. I didn't know. When is the next workout? It's still going on?
I gotta check over there.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry
I
about
gotta
it.
check over there.
It just made me think. I don't know if because once they get down to 16, they just trying to fine tune everything else sometimes, Jimmy. And I don't know if another workout was planned. So I mean, sometimes you never know with these teams. So, but that's unique. If Jacob, if you got a chance to go and be evaluated again, because these are evaluation periods, son. Whatever you've been doing, keep on doing. Don't try to do nothing different. Keep on doing what you've been doing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and indeed on that. And so that's and the team would go. They were playing Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
They were playing Mexico in a couple of weeks, and which would be a great experience. But like I said, man, you'll know if they like you. And one thing about it, if they like you, they're going to invite you back. That's the USA basketball thing. So if you really want to know if they like you, they really like you, you will get invited back.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's going to be a new flavor of the week or flavor of the year that they're going to go with. Remember, just because you're invited on Make Team is a great experience, because once you get into that circle, then there are a lot of NBA people that get to watch a lot of those USA basketball practices and games extensively. And they're measuring those kids against some of those same European and international kids that will be competing for roster spots in upcoming years. That intel, when they watch those young men, goes into the databases of those NBA teams. They remember, and they compound notes and just keep compounding. So once you have a file open with the NBA,
you're in the
you in
system.
their system. Yeah. So that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And so that means whatever, if Jacob Cole, that's why it's so important. If Jacob Cole or Ron Holland or Justin McBride, Liam McNeely, trust me, 2 of those will make it for sure.
So it's 4 cuts got to be made. You think it'll be 2 Texas players? I think it'll be 1.
I think 2 of them gonna make it for sure.
No, I'm talking about, I think it's going to be 3. No, I'm thinking it's going to be 3. I think they ain't going to cut. I mean, just the way Houston is, excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. Texas is, I think, see, Jimmy, they got to make 4 cuts, okay? So they got 4 kids from Texas on the team, right? 4 players from Texas still on the team, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it might be 2. It might be 2. I was thinking 1. They're going to cut 1. Yeah, it might be 2. It might be 2. Because I don't know how many people, because I know how they be looking at the makeup of the teams. And one thing I love about this, and I want to tell them people, I'm glad you said this, Jimmy, being able to guard multiple positions is a value in international play. Because a lot of these they switch a lot. So being able to guard a lot of multiple positions, and that's what maybe happened to our young fella from Beaumont United, Wesley. Maybe he just couldn't guard the point guard. If you a guy like that, you got to be able to guard the quicker guards. You got to be able to. But that's all right. If I was Wesley, I'd go home. I'll be every guard in the gym that think they quick. I'll be trying to guard his little ass. Because the next time they call up on me, I'm in the system. Jimmy, what you said, that won't be the excuse no more. I'm going to eliminate the excuse. If you're talking about I'm not guarding, I'm finna guard every little bit ass guard, even in high school. If the other team got a quick little guard, hey, man, let's go. Let me guard him, coach. Let me guard him. So, that's just, I know Wesley might be watching this a little later, but go get him, young fella. Don't let that be the reason they keep you off.
Indeed, man, indeed. And so that's news on
good. I like that.
On that particular topic.
And Jimmy, I got to do this, Jimmy, because before we go anywhere, I just want to share with the people the names of the kids that played that thought enough to go out and play at the No Excuse. I know we talked about the the players on them teams. The team Chop Shop was Sean Jones, Jared Valencia. Jared Valencia, I heard that name, Jimmy. Jared Valencia. Did he used to play? What high school other than Legacy he used to play for? I know that name.
No. That's the only win. Remember he came from overseas, and then he enrolled in Legacy last year.
Okay. Then we had Brian Etnam, Charles Chukwu. Oh my God. Masai Howell, Montana Wheeler, Justin Austin. What is his name? Benigni. Julius Crosby, Seth Jones, and Tyshawn Archie. Then we had on the other team, on Team Takeover, was Trey Miller, Isaiah Bargainer, oh my God, Maneki, Smurf Milliner, Kenneth Lewis, Jalen Goodman, John Moselle, Jalen Johnson, Bryson Wheatfall, and Xavier Owens. Those are the kids that played in the No Excuses Pro-Am All-Star game, and Chop Shop won that game. But Jimmy, a lot of these guys were ranked in your rankings too. They got all of that when they sent me all that information.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to those guys. Yes, Rick Brown. I was chopping up them names. If you saw this damn list of them names, Rick Brown, I'm sure you'd have chopped up a couple of them too. It's they chop upable. Them names right there are chop upable. But what else you got, Jim? I just want to shout those youngsters out.
Oh man, what else we got? Of course, NBA Summer League. We mentioned Quentin Grimes a while ago. Hell, he scored 28 the other day. And understand something. Remember, they're not advertising him as point guard. They're advertising him as guard. He can shoot that ball, and if he get in rhythm, you can look out. Yeah. And guess what? It's promising for him up there. Yeah. And
I mean, I just ain't gonna be no room. It ain't gonna be no room. They're gonna have to get him so he can play because they got too many guards. But he'll make the team.
He don't have to play right now. Emmanuel Quickly is doing good on the uptick. They got Derrick Rose in there. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. In the NBA, it really is a process.
Yeah.
But you got 3 years to figure it out.
Oh yeah.
You better figure it out in 3 years.
Yeah. Jimmy, really? He better figure it out in 2.
Yeah, the third is an option.
Because he's a second round pick. He's a second round pick.
But you know
he's first round. No, he's first round. He gets 3 years. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I keep thinking he's a second round. He gets 3 years. Yeah, he gets 3 years. You're absolutely right. You're
you know
absolutely
what?
Right. Huh?
I saw Worldwide West over at the Wynn the other night.
Uh-huh.
Look in his eyes. They that's how it is. Of course they're gonna like Quentin Grimes. He's making buckets right now.
He's 6'5", Jimmy.
That was before the 28-point game. Remember that was just happened on the other day. I saw him 4 days ago. But guess
Quentin
what?
Grimes a pro. You ain't got to defend him, Jimmy. He's a pro.
So what does that mean? What does that mean for everybody that put the jacket on his back and proclaimed that he wasn't?
Jimmy,
going to be not a pro. They saying he wasn't going to even be a good high major. Right. Remember that wasn't even in the conversation. So what do we do with the credibility of all of those guys?
Jimmy, I think a lot of it was personal. You see, I didn't realize because you've been around this stuff. You be evaluating, you be around these high school guys and watch these guys. And first of all, Jimmy, a lot of those guys you talking about wasn't professional and do this for a living either. See, a lot of those guys who were saying who he wasn't, they wasn't getting paid to evaluate players. It was just a lot of people talking points. And you told me some long time ago, you said, Robert, some of these people don't like Teddy, might not like Rossi, and they always hold it against the kid. Because some of this stuff was outrageous. Man, the man at Kansas just ain't going Kansas might miss, but they ain't gonna miss that bad. And then when he came back to U of H, they got to talk about him. I said, and thank God that I saw what I saw and didn't let other people. That's why I tell people, go see the kid for yourself. Go see him for yourself. And then you tell me, don't listen to these guys, because if you listen to these guys, can't nobody play in Houston. I know about two guys, and they not from Houston. And I ain't never heard them say nobody can play in Houston. So it's just, y'all, do me a favor in the future. Just go look at the kid for himself and just block out. Y'all notice, I know y'all be thinking I'm crazy. I watch the games. I turn the sound off because I don't want to hear what Mark Jackson got to say. I don't want to hear what nobody got to say. I turn the sound. I just want to watch the player play. The game is much different when you watch it and you're not hearing the noise. And if you hear the noise, their opinions become yours. Thank God I didn't let nobody tell me about Quentin Grimes, because I've always liked him. I like his size. And see, when guys that big can handle the ball that good and can make plays, see, people at Kansas, they had the man, what's the little guard? The little guard they had, Jimmy, supposed to be all world.
Dotson.
And they had Quentin just waiting in the corner like this. That kid, he's a playmaker. He like to do stuff off the dribble. He can pass better than people. And guess what? Coach Sampson and Kellen Sampson, they said, okay, give him come here. He's a playmaker. I'm not leaving him in the corner. And look what happened. The Final Four. He reached the Final Four, and a lot of that had to do with Quentin Grimes. So y'all in the future, y'all watch. Just watch it. Just slow down a little bit. What's your favorite word, Jimmy? All eggs don't hatch on the same day. Yeah, that's all.
Now, I think we got some couple of responses from the Boom Boom Room.
Uh-huh.
And I asked, what about those guys who claim it on Quentin Grimes? Landon Nordwan say the same thing you do with those who spoke on Jimmy Butler's potential. Well, I don't think there was a lot of pushback on Jimmy Butler's potential, because remember, Jimmy Butler played with John Urie, and it wasn't the same. Jimmy Butler
go to junior college, Jimmy?
Yes, he went to JUCO one year. Okay. So Jimmy Butler didn't get. Remember, it's a difference. Jimmy
didn't go to USA basketball, did he?
No, he didn't go to USA basketball. Okay. He hadn't been anointed. He was not anointed in the nation. John Urie had thrust Jimmy Butler out there and basically set his program, his 17 on the team, around Jimmy Butler to shoot it or to make a play every time he got it. And to some people, if it was a good game, then it would have been on fire. But to others, sometimes whenever the main guys went to go see him, either John Urie team got their heads beat in, or Jimmy Butler didn't have a great game. When it came down to they want consistency. Jimmy Butler got better. And everybody, not to say nobody else gets better, but he's the poster child of a guy like Jimmy. Hell, that same thing could be said about Eric Moreland. How many of you even knew the hell Eric Moreland was in high school?
Well, shit, he was on my summer team.
I'm just saying, think about it. He's been in the NBA now for on and off for the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Or so?
Yeah.
Eric Moreland.
That's a good one.
So
when I saw him, I didn't think he was a pro.
Think about it. Think about it. All the eggs went into the basket for the young fella out of Austin, Texas during that time, right?
Who?
They played with the franchise All-Stars. They went to North Carolina. They went to the Milwaukee Bucks. John Henson. John Henson was anointed. Yes. He was in the top 20 in the country ranked.
Yes.
So that's what I mean by anoint. When you get anointed, you get in that.
Yeah, he was a McDonald All-American, Jimmy. USA basketball.
USA basketball.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about in that status. So with Jimmy Butler, nah, it wasn't like that. And then remember, like like for me, let me give y'all, I think it might be the perfect time for me to inject this disclaimer.
Keep going. Go,
So
Jim.
to
I
give
got
you
a
guys
video on that.
understanding. When I first started RCS Sports back in 2001, I didn't have anyone to sit me down and give me a blueprint of evaluating players. So I didn't have a blueprint. So my thing was, being the son of a school teacher, I developed my own mechanism to say, well, hell, I want to grade you from 1 6 weeks to the next 6 weeks, or 1 9 weeks to the next 9 weeks. Because that's what I know, being the son of a school teacher for 37 years. So when I would do my projections, I didn't really do projections as primary on players. So that means if that's the case, my beliefs was a little different, because if that was the case, then every damn 7-footer would be ranked in the top 10 in a city, for the most part. And for some of you guys that lived in Houston, I want you to look with a straight face and tell me that Hasheem Thabeet was the best player in Houston back in 2007 or whenever that was. Remember Hasheem Thabeet, the 7-footer, went to UConn, number 2 pick in the NBA draft. So my theory was the best player or the best performer from one period to the next. I had little to no concern about what they were going to be in college, what they were going to be if they were even potentially to make a pro. Whenever college coaches would ask me that, I would steer them to the next guy that's close to that kid, or I would steer them to somebody else that they can ask who works that kid out. I would steer them to the grassroots guy. I would steer them, coach, all I can give to you is I was and am important to my clients, my subscribers, because I am good at providing intel. Remember, that wasn't the time when your email addresses and your cell phone numbers could be so accessible as it is right now. They can just hop in your DMs right now. That was a time when that couldn't be. That was a time, believe it or not, where every star kid on a roster, let's say I mentioned John Year a while ago, that was a time when this is factuals, that a team like his, the phone number in the coach's packet, every kid would be his phone number. That was the time. So that means for those coaches from out of the region, how do they get in touch with those kids? That's what I was important for. So I was the Underground Railroad to provide intel, and I'm still the Underground Railroad to provide intel. That ain't my job to tell them I ain't never played in college. I ain't never played in the pros. I don't know what it feel like, what it does to make one of them. That ain't my job. That ain't what I do. You know what I do? Whatever I do, it must work, because if you say my name around the country to them college coaches, you know what, you're going to get more times than not, a favorable approval rating. And that's so a lot of people really don't know what I do. I don't match your kids with colleges. I don't promote your kid. I don't work. I get paid to provide intel. Now, your job as a parent is to keep me with updated intel. I can transfer it over to them. They might open my email quicker than they might open yours. You follow me now? That's all. So are you using me as a tool? But it's free for you to use. It doesn't cost you to utilize me. You can utilize me. Just don't try to use me, because you might end up getting used.
No. You said it's all right to use you. You just don't want them to misuse you.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah. I told it was all right. I've changed it to utilize, but I can go with that.
Okay.
I can go with that.
Yeah.
But it's so many guys that get selective memory when they want you to forget the ones they got wrong, but want you to give them 2 checks for the one they got right. How the hell did that go? So you're going to get 1 X. Matter of fact, don't even give you an X for the ones you got wrong. but give you 2 checks for the one you got right. 2 checks and a cookie for the ones you got right. Guys, let me tell you something. In this business, the guys that are still standing out, it ain't a lot of black folk in amateur basketball that do what I do on a national scale. It ain't many of them out there. And what you do is everyone that's out there that has creed, they have a player that they put all chips in the middle of the table on at one point in time. And they gambled, and they basically gambled their reputation on a particular player, and that nobody knew about at some point. And that player might have excelled. Then they gambled on, they came up with another name, and that one lived up to the hype. And then another one. So that's how the credibility is. So when you think about guys, this might be an exercise for some of you. Try to ask some people or ask around, who was that person's, which one did he get right? Who's his claim to fame? Don't get it twisted. Like so I mentioned John Urie bad, mentioned him good. Guess what? John Urie get credit for TJ Ford. There was a time when only people in Texas knew about TJ Ford. TJ Ford didn't play varsity in the 10th grade. So guess what? Daniel Ewing, he gets credit for Daniel Ewing. Because as they went around the country, he had to go and remember, that wasn't social media. Thank God it wasn't social media back then with John Urie. You guys wouldn't, LeVar Ball wouldn't have been nothing on John Urie.
Where's all my LeVar Ball haters at, Jimmy? You remember that?
We say, let's say some of that for tomorrow.
Okay.
We got to get all the facts up there.
Okay.
We got to get all the facts up there.
Okay. All right.
But think about it. He's got some right. He's got a couple of wrong, yeah, but he's got. Remember, Gerald Green.
Jimmy, you think Jimmy?
It was John Urie first on Gerald Green. Then Rick Nelson took him on the way.
Okay.
When he was a rising thing, but John Urie was the first that told everybody about Gerald Green, the next one.
Okay.
Gulf Shores Academy. They reclassified him. People frowned. It worked out for him. It worked out for Gerald Green. Then a decade later, the same people who frowned on Gerald Green for reclassifying, and they frowned on DeAndre Jordan for reclassifying. But then you applaud Justin Jackson, who repeated the 9th grade. Selective hypocrisy. And the thing is, a lot of people have the energy to call some of you guys out on that stuff. But on Monday, today, got all day. But yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about
it. I got a question, Jim. I want to, Paul Miranda, do me a favor, because you always saying this, and I'm gonna put it on the screen. I just want you to send nothing against you now. I let stuff pass, okay? I'm gonna put it on the screen this time. I got Quentin Grimes right, and he's an H-Town kid that no one claimed back then. Show me the receipts. That's all I'm asking. Nothing against you. You keep saying this. You done repeated this about at least 6 or 7 times. So my thing is, show me the receipts where you have written, or show me a video that you talked about Quentin Grimes when nobody else knew about it. Show me them receipts. I mean, if you keep one, because you done put it on this feed several times, and my responsibility is to monitor the feed. So if you're saying that, and yes, your claim to fame, I don't care about I don't care about you talking about you called Marshall. Okay? I don't want to hear that one. I want to see what you said publicly. You can call his daddy and say anything. There's a lot of people calling the dad and saying anything. Listen, and if you hadn't have said this, Paul, think about this, Paul. You put me in your business when you put it on the screen. Okay? You put me on the business, in your business. You know how people talk about, man, don't be putting my business out there. But damn, I told the dude, man, we in season 5, episode 10s of your bullshit, because you've been putting it out on social media. So all I'm saying is, Paul, show me the receipts where you printed, you called it, you was on a talk show, or you was on your show saying Quentin Grimes was that great back then. That's all I want to know. But Jimmy, what else? What's up? What
Yeah,
up there,
and
Mr. Fox? Huh?
yeah, and we were just talking and
It's
just
all,
joining the conversation. It's the perfect time to share the show to your time. Let me give me a share in
see,
now.
I
Let me
can
get me.
tell you. First, I, I think
Let me
Herb
get me
was
a
there. I
share.
don't know. All I heard, I heard. I ain't saying I knew about De'Aaron Fox. Somebody called me and said, "Man, this is a ninth grader hit 50 points in the game." Herb Baker was one of them. So guess what? I can safely say Herb Baker. The first time I really heard about De'Aaron Fox was Herb Baker. I can safely say that. That's all I'm saying. It ain't Paul. Quit being defensive. I'm just asking you. You keep saying that. People in Houston didn't like it. People in Houston, Marshall said people in Houston. Now, hell, people in Houston didn't. Shit, how the hell I know about Quentin Grimes if people in Houston didn't say, I didn't never go watch College Park play. I learned from Jimmy Hicks about how good Quentin Grimes was. I didn't never go watch College Park play. I didn't know Paul Miranda. You never said to me, I didn't know you back then. So how I learned about Quentin Grimes is through Jim Hicks. But you saying people in Houston went on him? I don't know. I don't know about that one now. Listen. I
And
don't know.
and
I don't know.
and let's go and we're gonna, if you just tune in, of course,
No, yeah.
we're gonna get into the topic shortly about the Bryce Griggs to the overtime elite, and I'll give you guys all the details. Meanwhile, if you want to get a sneak peek on some of the things I'm going to share, feel free to slide over into the VIP news on rcsports.com. I wrote a long description of the breakdown of the deal that includes some factuals about the contract. I put in on the RCS Sports and the VIP news. But now, meanwhile, let's get into something I'm gonna give time to take a moment to educate you guys on. At the time in Houston, Kendrick Davis and Quentin Grimes were the blue and the red. Just say if it was gangs in Houston. They were the blue and the red. Well, Kendrick Davis was the urban, Quentin Grimes was the suburban.
Mm-hmm.
Most people from the hood embraced Kendrick Davis. Or most people, not saying everybody, most. The hoop culture embraced Kendrick Davis.
Mm-hmm.
He was the kid who didn't grow up with sidewalks. He grew up with ditches in front of his house. He grew up, for the most part, with a single parent coming through most of his upbringing. He grew up, so he got it out the mud. He was an at-risk student athlete coming through Burbank Middle School and Sam Houston High School. So you rooted for the story. Most people rooted because they wanted him to make it. A lot of people viewed Quentin Grimes and measured him, albeit may have been unfair, they used his toughness versus the softness as the priority in the main ingredient as they were baking this cake. So people would say, man, Quentin Grimes, he's soft. Man, he's soft. So then what happened? Here's a moment. To the grassroots season, I'm giving you guys some foundation with some factuals, with a splash of my opinion, but factuals. Quentin Grimes played for the Houston Hoops one summer, going in the 10th grade year. He left the Houston Hoops and went over to Basketball University, which was Adidas team. So he jumped sneaker lines. Well, when he left the Houston Hoops, I just gave you guys the same analogy a while ago.
You preaching
The
real.
Houston Hoops program basically gave you all of the negatives about Quentin Grimes. The reasons why we didn't really want him anyway. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough for us, for this team. He wasn't going to play. We weren't going to really use him next year. We're going to be able to make the 17s next. Whatever. I'm just giving you like chatter that was coming from out of the camp. Well, meanwhile, Basketball University, at that time, they had Jayla D had came on in there, and they promoted Quentin Grimes. They had a marketing campaign with Quentin Grimes that basically put them against the world. That meaning we think he's better than all of you guys on the Nike side of the fence think. We know he's better. So then now the pushback becomes every time Quentin Grimes doesn't have a subpar to an average game, or know what happens, then a certain sector of people will let it be known. See there? Told y'all where all the quit. Then whenever he would have a normal to great game, the pro actives would let it be known. So it was an arm wrestle with Quentin Grimes. Remember, it came down to winning. Quentin Grimes had never made the playoffs, I think, until his senior year at College Park. So that was being used against him because the district he's in is not known as a power district. That district he was in at that time, it was not known as that. And you couldn't be one of the 4 teams in. So he got punished in his city for lack of winning. Didn't have winning attached to him. Kendrick Davis had a little more winning stigma attached to him. He played grassroots ball with a team called the Houston Hawks. Right? It was an urban team that got it out the mud, based out of the Salvation Army Boys Club in Houston. So reversibles, you don't even know the name of the team. They just got reversibles. Numbers might be peeling off one week. But so it was one of those things. That team was winning though. On the Chitlin circuit, that is. Well, eventually, Kendrick Davis got with Texas Pro, and Quentin Grimes was already with Basketball University, and they both were on the same Adidas circuit. So now Kendrick Davis had the same opportunity for national exposure that Quentin Grimes did. Quentin Grimes had a baby head start because he played with the Houston Hoops first, then Basketball University. So he played for 2 sneaker teams. Kendrick Davis finally, on his last lap around the track, said, "Okay, man, I'm gonna go on and get this thing a roll." So now, during that summer, Haller, remember me and you went to the event in Fort Worth, the first Adidas event. And we walked in the building. They got life-size posters. Life-size. The retractable life-size of Zion Williams. Then another kid. Then Quentin Grimes. So they had 12 players. Those were the featured players before the circuit even started. He was anointed. So now you had Chris Rivers was running Adidas at that time. They had already found their guy. They know what they saw in Quentin Grimes. He wasn't as risky, And now, meanwhile, think about it. This kind of hurt a little bit because remember, Kendrick Davis' name was associated with winning. If you don't forget, Kendrick Davis is the last person that De'Aaron Fox lost to in his high school career.
That's right. Absolutely right.
Was Kendrick Davis. He was a 10th grader at Sam Houston High School.
You keep on preaching.
They eliminated Cy Lakes High School at the Campbell Center. So, and then Sam Houston went to state in 2015. Kendrick Davis was a sophomore. That's the same year, if I'm not mistaken, the same year Tascasita went to state with Carson Edwards. DeSoto won state that year. But Kendrick Davis loses in the semifinals of the state tournament. He becomes a darling. Remember, his name was associated with winning. And when your name is associated with winning, it gives you more appreciation for the most part. This is what happened in Houston. So that means now it wasn't who was going to be, it was some people who's going to be the better pro. It was about who was better at the end. So guess what I did? Their senior years, I put them against each other in the season opener. Sam Houston versus College Park. Let's hush all of this shit out. Let's get it in the air. Let's get it on. Old school style. Now, mind you, Sam Houston, we knew they had the better team on paper. That wasn't the issue. All teams ain't created equal, guys. It was about the matchup. And in that matchup, guess what? Kendrick Davis won the game. He had 29. Quentin Grimes lost the game. He might have had 32.
30-something, yeah.
So guess what? They both won and gave the city what they came to see. And remember now, from the Quentin Grimes, RCS Sports, we had him ranked number 1. So think about this. Now, see, I'm giving you guys something, taking your blast to the near past.
Let's go.
I'm from the northeast side of Houston, Cashmere Garden area. You know, I grew up, reared in Fifth Ward. Mom moved over to Cashmere Garden off Homestead. So that area, I grew up off Jensen Street. Guess what street Kendrick Davis grew up off of?
Right.
Jensen Street.
Yeah.
We grew up off the same street. Different eras, obviously. So
right.
His mother went to Cashmere. I went to Cashmere.
Gotcha.
If you guys don't understand, urban code is if we from the same hood and the hood find out that I ain't giving you some type of favor, then the hood ain't gonna accept me. That's how it goes in my hood.
Great point. Keep on, Doc. Great point.
I'm giving you guys so you guys understand. That don't mean I'm anti
Quentin Grimes. That's right.
Which I know on purpose, I've never been in. And I'll tell you shortly how this came about with RCS Sports. I'll give you that in just a second.
You're going to tell that too?
Give you guys some history on this stuff to understand what's going on. I can't go through Fifth Ward. Kendrick Davis was raised in the J. Prince gym.
Yep.
That's J. Prince. That's Lil James, rapper like and the boxing mogul. He was raised in that gym. When he comes home, he works out still in that gym. When he goes pro next year, he's gonna with all likelihood sign. His agent is going to be James Prince Jr. Andre Prince will be his agent. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the world knows that. Now, where he going to play? And guess what? He has a chance. He has a chance.
Where is he now?
He's back at SMU.
Oh, he went back to school. Okay.
He's back at SMU, and he's gonna wreak havoc in that conference right again. So now, my point is this: if I'm not giving some type of faith, just think about it like this: I go and stop by the J. Prince gym. What happens if my Fifth Ward people who I grew up with, the grown fellas, find out that Jim Hicks ain't looking out for little Kendrick Day, little KD? That means that mean they got a problem with me. That's called the politics of the game. But if you don't, at this day, if you're watching the Chop Shop, you get to understand that. That don't mean, but Kendrick Davis earned his. Quentin Grimes earned his. You follow me? They both earned theirs. But so I didn't need to. My thing is, I didn't cheat for Kendrick Davis. That was a time when his summer grassroots coach, Tyrone Mingo, they know him as Boney. He played basketball at Sam Houston High School back in the mid-'80s. Guess what? Me and Boney played Little League Baseball together on the same team that damn near went to the World Series. We played together on the same team. So guess what? Favor with relationships. And Boney had to ask me over and over. We tried, hey man, you got to rank him high. You got to get KD, man. You got to get, it's coming, Boney. Just hold tight. You'd rather me be there at the finish line for him, not at the starting line. He run fast enough, I got him. So that's how that goes. So now if you tell me, look dead in your screen right now, and you say, if you was in circumstances and it was vice versa, and that's you're not gonna have a little favor. Favor ain't fair, but it's there. Remember that. You remember that. So
that don't mean you're dogging the other kid out.
No. And that's the whole thing. People like, man, you don't like me. No. That's just like my first time experiencing this was Tack Minor versus Lanny Smith when I came into the business. Tack Minor had a place in my heart because I was a volunteer grassroots coach for 2 summers. So my resources are going into Tack Minor. I didn't know nobody, and I mentioned you earlier about the claim to fame. That was one of my first claim to fames on a national scale. It was Tack Minor, then Daniel Gibson, Jawan McClellan. I hit 3 out the park in 2 years. I was playing with house money the rest of the way. I mean, seriously. So, but think about it. Tack Minor versus Lanny Smith. Lanny Smith's mother was the first secretary for RCS Sports. She was a volunteer. Alfreda Smith, love her to death. Good people, man. So think about wrestling with what I'm wrestling with. Same thing. Lanny Smith, Suburban Hightower High School, Tack Minor, Booker T. Washington, the hood. I ain't grew up in that hood, but then everybody from Independence Heights, that's next to Jake. That's the community right there where Booker T's. They know everybody from Cashmere Garden. We grew up competing against it all the while. So if you ain't looking out for the hood, then don't even come throughout. Don't even come here. So that's the thing. It wasn't Lanny Smith didn't understand at the time. He was young. He was younger, but it scarred him because we talked about this while he was a grown man. He didn't understand. But his stride has served as fuel to his fire. He used it because LSU ended up playing U of H when Tack Minor was a freshman, and Lanny lit his ass up.
He ain't lit my boy up. He ain't lit my boy Tack up. No, sir.
Lanny, U of H won the game, and Lanny shut him down.
I didn't see it, so I don't believe it.
So I want to get you guys that understanding. And now the last piece on this Quentin Grimes thing, hopefully we can put this stuff to rest, and hopefully a guy like Paul Miranda, you can get understanding on this.
Yeah.
RCS Sports, my platform at the time, one of the guys who really did not had, different guys have different beliefs, but his belief had trajectory to it. And he did not subscribe or did not appreciate the game of Quentin Grimes.
Okay.
Right. So this young man, I had him helping out, and he would work with my unsigned seniors. So at the time he was vocal, and I said, I tell you what you do. Kind of like Doug Jones does a lot of the update now. I say, let me give you some space, and I want to put your evaluation, and we'll give you the real estate, but you can't hold your tongue. I want you to say whatever you want. I'm just going to come in. I'm going to put a period or a comma where it need to be. I gave him the platform to write an article one time. And in that article, it was not favorable about Quentin Grimes. And that was the article that was in the VIP news. It wasn't for public consumption. It was in a private portal on the public website. And that particular article is what deemed a life sentence from some towards RCS Sports, towards Jim Hicks, and specifically towards that guy. Now, the guy who wrote the article didn't give a damn. He didn't care because he was doubling down every step of the way. Well, I bet he won't do it now. When I bet he won't make it now, and then I bet he won't make it now, and now he's been crapped out. But I never did.
But that's good, man. That's good. Don't forget now we got to talk about Bryce now.
So now that's enough on that. You guys understand that's how
you gave him 40 minutes. You gave him football. That was a great history lesson. Because I got to get out of here now on time. So let's go.
Yeah, I like that. I was on time today. We got here on time today.
Yeah, I like that.
Give you more. Give you a minute more.
Guess what? Guess what? I'm feeling real good right now, but keep going.
You feeling good right now?
Yeah.
So, what I was going to say, I need y'all to share the show right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I need y'all to share. I'm going to ask y'all to share the show to your timelines, at least a couple of your groups. And let's get this thing rocking. Now, last topic on the day is Bryce Griggs, Hightower High School. He signed with the Overtime Elite. If you hadn't had a chance to go through the VIP news on RCS Sports, you will see a nice detailed description and of that. First of all, I want to let you know that I am proud that this is over with. We knew it was inevitable. He signed. He's foregoing not only his college, but his high school career as well. So there will be no prom, no senior skip day, no carnation ball, no homecoming ball, no spring break, no for the time being, no college freshman orientation, no pledging to a fraternity, no time soon. But Bryce is done. He signed with the Overtime Elite, and want to just get some things out there for you guys, and hopefully it can help you understand, because a lot of people, first of all, on the Chop Shop, we broke this. We did a soft breaking of this. We told you this was happening. Now, the only thing you didn't get was the numbers. And I even gave you a range of the numbers a couple of weeks ago after Orlando. And so my thing is, what I strongly suggest and encourage some of you guys, when you get some good red clay dirt from the Chop Shop, you can go on the YouTube and you can clip it and share it. Just that little piece. You want to share the whole show. You can share from one moment to the next moment, whether it be 5 seconds or 55 seconds. You can share it. Put it out there. Bookmark it. So what the deal is, here's the deal. With Bryce, the deal is valued at $1.2 million. He did not sign for $1.2 million. So what you're doing is, there's a lot of guys in today's business that are looking at the next guy who's an ally, and he wrote 1.2. So the next guy's writing 1.2, and the next guy's writing 1.2, and ain't nobody seeing any confirmation. And this is the proof in this. Go check the Overtime and see what they press release say. What the Overtime Elite said. In the article, there's only one person that gave of all that so far, Hatter, only one that I've seen that gave a good, accurate rendition, a description of it. And that's Matt Young, right? And Matt Young says Bryce's deal with OTE is worth around 1.2 million, which includes the cost of his future college education, his room and board, and equity in the company, insurance, disability, and health care. So if you was to go and get the value of all of that for over 2 years and add all of that up, it would go into the equation of the 1.2 over 2 years. It's not 1.2 a year. It's is valued at 1.2. Bryce's base salary is somewhere closer to the $300,000 mark per year. And that's great. How many of your kids right now that's in the 11th grade going to the 12th grade, if they had an opportunity, if somebody came up to them, I don't give a damn if it was smashing snails with a hammer, and they paid them $300,000, a guaranteed 2-year deal, had then they tell you I'm gonna put $100,000 in a trust fund for if you want to go to college, if you do smashing these snails with a hammer. Then I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna give you $100,000 up front. It'll be in your account September the 1st. Right? Plus, you get $50,000 equity in this company that obviously you buy low, sell high. Let's say if this whatever it's worth right now, who knows what can happen in the future? It's a startup. It's a startup. But it has some power brokers that have their wallets under this project. Jeff Bezos, Drake, Kevin Durant. What's the little fella play for the Atlanta Hawks? Our young fella.
Trey.
That's the name of few. Just the name of few. Their money is under this project. So he gets a $50,000 equity in the company. That means if the company doubles in value, and let's say they might want to sell this company in 5 years, if it goes right, and they might want to sell it in 5-10 years. Let's say, remember, they get a $50,000, not a 50%, $50,000 equity, worth of equity. Just say it was stock, it was share of stock was worth $1,000 in this company. He got 50 shares. Or let's say it was worth $500 per share. He got 100 shares. And let's say the value of this company in 5-10 years, what if it's worth $150 a share? That means 50,000 is worth 150,000. And this is the thing. So people are trying their best to pick it apart. He is to live free. They're gonna get him an apartment. It'll be 2 people in each apartment, a 2-bedroom with the kitchen, a regular apartment. That'll be right in the shadows of downtown Atlanta, right? Over there near Georgia Tech, right? Guess what? They're gonna stock the refrigerator in each one of the apartments will be restocked. That means somebody gonna come and check on them, restock it with healthy. You know, you ever been to U of H and be in their locker room had over at U of H, and you go over there in the coolers.
Oh my goodness.
They stock that thing with all type of health stuff. And I'm like, man, I want to give me some Frenchies when I leave this place. Man, but let me go and get one of these damn health, one of these honey and oat balls.
Come on, I come out there with a pocket full every time. And Jimmy, you got to go to Memphis with me one time. They got to set up, they got a different chef cook every day. It's crazy what these guys got, but that's unique. That's unique. But keep going.
And so if you're just tuning into the Chop Shop, I'm asking you to share the show to your timelines right now. Share the show to somebody. This week, I'm back. I'm back on time tomorrow. We're getting this thing I'm getting in shape. So we got new stuff coming in September. But I got to try to get back in Chop Shop shape. Now, we're talking about Bryce Griggs and his contract or the news that he's foregoing his high school and college career of basketball, that is, to go pro. Once again, he's getting free health care, guys. The health care provider is going to be Aetna, in case some of you want to know. I'm giving you factuals. You ain't going to read that nowhere. He got life insurance. He has a disability clause. That means if you get hurt, say an insurance policy with, I'm just giving an example. I don't know who this policy is with, but let's say if it was Lloyd's of London, then if you messes up a knee, that means you can get money, get a cash out if you suffer a career-ending injury, right? I mentioned to you guys about the food. Then somebody, again, Gary said, if you got the $300,000, you ain't sharing the part. No, that's part of the deal. They have to have a roommate.
Gary, that's why that's why they didn't bring you down there. That's why, because you're gonna be talking. You're gonna talk your way out of the damn deal. But keep going, Jay.
Yeah, so another thing about it is they're gonna sign this team. This thing, Overtime is a social media platform, right? And each of these kids they're gonna allow the public to come into their lives in I guess you can call it a reality show. So they're gonna have footage,
that's right,
of each player leading up into every game. So that means those cameras are probably going to be in their apartments. It ain't like a guy got hold. They put cameras like you got the Ring cameras all over the place in your house. They got the same type of cameras nowadays. So they'll put them in, and that means they'll be able to follow and provide content to hype up the game. The games will be streamed live, and from what I understand, it's not going to be a charge for you, but I could be wrong. I was led to believe, but that's neither here nor there. But it won't be a charge, and it'll be streamed live. You'll be able to watch the games, watch it leading up to, kind of like what boxing did when they started putting those HBO specials the weeks before a fight, and you follow up until the fight. This is kind of how they're going to do these Overtime elite team. Right now they have about 15 players signed. They're hoping to get 24 signed. The name, image, and likeness, I did mention in the article in the VIP news on RCS Sports that there's a deal that's being negotiated for Travis Scott to sponsor Bryce Griggs. Now, Travis Scott has a few brands that he's ambassador for. So I'm not sure which brand that Bryce, if the deal goes through, which I'm pretty certain a soft agreement has been, made from one of the sides, but they're still getting it right. And Travis Scott, trust me, there's no greater platform to release that news than him himself. And all he got to do is tag Bryce Griggs on his social media platform. And that automatically helps Bryce Griggs' equity. So that means, understand how this goes. Social media is built into some of that stuff. So the more followers Bryce Griggs get, what happened?
Paul McBrandon just won't quit, man. I'm going to put it on the screen because his ass evidently want people to see it. I'm just gonna put it on the screen. He just can't help it, man. He just can't say great job for Bryce. Great job. He just can't help the DFW boys turn it down. He just said the DFW boys turn it down. Let me tell you something. The DFW boys doing what's best for them. This was tailor-made. Overtime was tailor-made. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Bryce wanted to go overseas last year. He didn't want to play no basketball. He wanted to be a pro last year. So guess what? Overtime was made just for him, Paul. You can't compare this to what somebody else has done, the guys in Dallas. Thank God that guys in Dallas. This was tailor-made just for this kid, man. Okay? You know, it's tailor-made just for him. And it's okay that you don't, it ain't got nothing to do with the Dallas. This ain't got nothing to do with Dallas right now. We talked about the Dallas thing a minute ago. We talked about you last period, 45 minutes. Paul, we ain't gonna spend another dime talking about your ass the rest of the day. So that's the last one. Come on, Jimmy.
And we're talking about the Bryce Griggs to the overtime elite deal. And this, mentioned about the Travis Scott situation. Now, it is unclear if the Travis Scott deal is included in the amount that is the $1.2 million number. Once again, time will tell, because the overtime deal, the actual signing, is not for 1.2. Now, once again, I'm guess if you want to add the cost of the apartment, the cost of rent, the projected cost of the food they're going to put. Now, only going to be health food they're going to put up in there. If you want to go get you some fast food, you got to get the Chick-fil-A, you got to get it on your own. But if you want to add up the insurance, want to add up that, guess what? Maybe that might be, that's why the word is the value of the deal that he's signing is 1.2 million. You know how sometimes you hear colleges when they will say if a kid has a scholarship, and when you get ready to march across the stage at high school graduation, I don't know if they did it for your son when he went to Cornell. Sometimes they will announce that the value of the scholarship.
No, I knew it wasn't no scholarship. I knew the value. They didn't have to ask. Get what they said. Get what Joe Biden said. Because he did the convocation. He said, mamas and daddies, I know y'all happy today because y'all get a raise right now. Hell yeah.
No, I was talking about from high school to college. When you graduate high school.
No. No, they didn't. No, they didn't say it. Okay, I thought you were talking about.
I know I've been to some graduations. They probably get them over quick as hell now because they got so many kids.
Well, I wish they had said it.
They normally say sometimes they've said the value of the scholarship, and that's kind of. And remember, that means once again,
some thousand a year. That's the value.
Out
of state,
everything has value.
Yeah.
So if you want to include the value in it, once again, so let's not go and thinking all of a sudden. Guess what? Bryce Griggs, this money for doing something that I honestly believe Bryce Griggs loves basketball. But I honestly also believe that at some point in the recent years, there was turbulence on this plane with the sport of basketball. This young man lost his father, Robert Bubba Griggs, in 2018, May of 2018, as a result of a bout with cancer. I think on the Chop Shop, I made the error in announcing that the day that it happened. I think I said heart attack, and I'm sorry to the family at the time. I think
you didn't my mind, on Chop Shop. You did it on your site.
Yeah, so and then went back and changed it. I think I did. Once I got corrected, that was a typo in the intel. So.
Man, this is a great day, y'all. This is a great day.
This changes the game.
Guess what? No other player in Houston hadn't had the opportunity to do it. No paper. You talking about? Let me tell you something, man. It's a great, 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 great day. We should be rejoicing and understand a kid did it his way. He did it his way. He always felt he was a pro. He did it. He was bored with high school basketball. I'm telling y'all, he's bored. And dude, and now the kid gonna be able to go and say, "Hey, this is what I do." Well, the favorite word. I'm built different. I'm built different. I'm built for this. I'm built for this, and we should be rejoicing and happy for them, man. Guess what? All they did is added the product. Guess what? He didn't go invent overtime. Overtime came to him. He didn't go invent overtime. He was just trying to figure out how can I get to 2022 and I can go to the league because the kid want to be a pro. So come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Yeah,
It ain't nobody. I understand. I understand.
And
I'm
on,
sorry,
on Thursday, we expected, remember, we do it once every quarter. We're just keeping our word for this quarter. And we get an appearance from John Lucas Jr.
Oh, Lord,
So John
Lord,
Lucas
no.
is expected to come on and rejoin us on Thursday. And John Lucas will share and take your questions you guys have on Bryce Griggs. Remember, Bryce played grassroots basketball for the JL3 Elite, which is sponsored by Nike. John Lucas was very instrumental in helping to help and provide intel or navigate or to the family to help them navigate through some of this process. So John Lucas also is going to share some news with you guys about a new division that he has under the John Lucas Enterprises, and that will be on Thursday. We also start next week. We're going to have more guests, bring some of the guests back. That way you guys will get back like old times and be able to add some more, put some more air in the tires on the Chop Shop. But once again, it's a great day because here's the thing. We talk about guys and naysayers. What do you naysayers think about this? And I've said it. I've said this so many times over the past 2, 3, 4 months. And I say it again. Now you guys can understand. Bryce Griggs was not playing for the same thing that your other kids were playing for. They were playing for an enhanced rankings. They were playing for college offers. They were playing to be McDonald's All-Americans. They were playing to make All-State or the win state. Bryce Griggs was playing to get the numbers right on that contract. So when you see him shut it down, for everybody who got upset when Bryce Griggs shut it down at the top 100 camp after playing the first day.
I got 7 phone calls.
Guess what? Why you don't have the same energy with the Houston Rockets with their star draft pick shutting it down?
Hey, everybody shutting it down. Cade Cunningham to shut it down.
Cunningham shut it down.
Everybody
so the
shut
energy,
it down.
So why is the energy there still?
But Jimmy,
it don't matter. It's not the same, is it? It's not the same. I get it.
No. Them pros, Bryce a pro. Them pros. They just didn't know. Oh, they didn't know. They didn't know.
So this is the thing that's why I said it earlier and I say it again. Selective hypocrisy. You could be hypocrites when you select to do so, knowingly and unknowingly. So once again, he was not playing for the same. That's why when we get on here, and I might well go for 6 times. I said his name 5 times today. I'll go for number 6. John Urie. I told you, Bryce Griggs was not playing for the same thing. PJ
You sure did.
I explained it to you.
You sure did.
In an educated on a one-on-one conversation, I explained that they're not playing for the same thing, John. But why did John? They're not playing for the same thing.
But Jimmy, he didn't understand what you were talking about, Jimmy. I'm telling you. All he was thinking about, man, my guy is better. This man told me on the phone, my guy, listen to me. I'm not arguing with y'all people who said somebody better than Bryce. I'm not arguing with y'all no more. I did that 2 years ago. I ain't arguing with that. All I know, the first player out of Texas, out of Houston, out of Texas, signed with overtime, and he got what he wanted, and he's okay. That's all I got. I don't care who's better, because all of that's subjective. What Jalen Green still think he better than Cade, and Cade saying, "Dude, I'm that dude." And guess what? Mobley saying, "I'm that dude." You gonna always. Let me tell you something. You gonna always find somebody who's better than somebody. But as of today, this Bryce Griggs day today. What's this day? The 16th Griggs. Forget the mayor. This Bryce Griggs day today. Okay? Forget what the mayor got to say. So, hey man, let me tell you something, man. This stuff, y'all. If I was y'all, I'd be sitting back saying, "This is amazing, Jimmy. This is amazing. In America, you can do this instead of going and let a college or another high school. Cause hold on, a Hightower was getting full because of Bryce Griggs. So everybody benefited from Bryce. So now this kid can say, oh, I can go benefit off my own name, image, and likeness. And Overtime is offering that situation to him. Man, come on, y'all. And I know a lot of y'all, come on. Come on, y'all. Let's embrace this thing. Jimmy said something real. If your kid was coming out of high school hammering nails, and somebody was gonna give him $300, your ass would take it too. You'll be gone like a turkey through the cone. It ain't about who he's better, man. Let me tell you something. Overtime, and I'm gonna repeat this, but I want y'all to it was designed with guys like Bryce Griggs in mind. That's all I'm gonna say, Jim.
Yeah, and so lastly, giving you some intel. I think somebody asked me a question early on in the Boomer Room. Asked me who will the Overtime Elite play against? Well, here's how. First of all, they only have about 15 players signed right now, and what happens now? It could get harder because remember I said some people. Let's say if you was in negotiations, Hatter, and you were thinking about it. And you were thinking about a deal that they had already proposed to you. Mm-hmm. But then now you get to seeing this $1.2 million number come out. And let's say you're ranked number 7 in the country and Bryce is number 40. Mm-hmm. So the market is set. That means now you're like, hold on. That number y'all I was thinking about, I need more. So now sooner or later, the Overtime is going to have to leak out the actual amount. They don't. It ain't their job to tell you guys, but they leak it out, and and that way now, or because otherwise that other person is going to feel that if he getting 1.2 million, I need 1.8 million, and they're not about to shell that kind of money right now. So that's the thing I'm saying. So it's gonna probably add a stagnant to their securing of some players that they were already after. Because then they want to renegotiate all over. Now others, if Bryce number 40, let's say with number 50 now, number 50 want to come on. He's saying the hell with Kyle. Number 50 they probably ringing the Overtime phones off the hook right now. We'll get in. But at the same time, this deal, the players, remember, they generate, it's a unique concept. Just read up on it. I got time to take you through that. Read up on it.
Yeah, y'all go read up on it. Yeah.
And it's a 2-year commitment.
2-year
commitment. Kids cannot. They can void that money if they try to leave and go overseas. If they leave, they can't go and play overseas.
They can't.
No.
Why? Because that the contract states it.
Yes.
Okay.
Not during that 2 years. You can't play with me 1 year and go try to be R.J. Hampton. Off our users as
but once you get paid, you can't go back to college at all. College is out the question.
Yeah, no, you can't go back and play.
And play in college, okay.
Basketball.
You can go play golf like J.R. Smith.
There you go, bango. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, damn, I got it. Man, I need to go get me some of this. Jimmy, can I get another degree, Jimmy, just to play golf? Boy, I know I tear some of them dudes' ass up out there, huh? What?
What we ought to do that? We ought to go to TSU and I can do a package deal.
I want to go TSU, Jimmy. Oh, that's right. I ain't been to a place. Okay, my bad. I smacked myself.
I'm just gonna say you better take it out and dunk that.
I go over TSU and
we might
Jimmy,
make that work.
Jimmy, I go over there and play for free. I go over there and play for free. Y'all don't have to. Y'all don't have to pay.
No.
Huh? I can walk on and pay my own way, Jimmy.
No, this is a package deal, Negro.
Okay, who else I got to bring with me?
I'm the money kid. This is a package deal. You got to let me package deal. You got to let me back the.
I got you.
I ain't got about 23 hours left. 24, something like that. 24
I got
hours
you, man.
left.
I
I'm a
say
fact.
no
They
more.
gotta give me. We gotta get up in there. But lastly before we land the plane, guys, we only got a few minutes left. Want to finish educate you something else about the overtime to ask how many games, who do they play against? Well, the overtime elite OTE, they cannot play against Atascocita High School. They cannot play against the high school. They can play against Legacy. They can only play against teams that are the post-grad teams. For example, Montverde post-grad. They can play them. That's the team that DJ Richards is going to play for right now. So
Okay.
DJ Richards is probably going to play against Bryce Griggs at some point in time.
His mama dropped him off this weekend. I saw it on the social media. He gone.
Cool.
Yeah.
So they can play against them. They can also play against. They're going to take a European tour.
Okay.
So they're going to go to Europe.
Okay.
And they're going to play a lot of those, a lot of those club teams over in Europe.
Yeah.
They're going to, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to go there and come back. They're going to probably go there and play they probably stay there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And probably play, a game every 2 days.
That'd be good.
Maybe 3 weeks. So they're going to go over there. They're also going to schedule to either go to Dominican Republic and or the Bahamas, and they will play a series of games there. Yeah. They will also play each other. If it's 3 teams, they'll get to play each other.
That's good, man. I'm excited now. I mean, I'm excited because when y'all gotta understand when something like that happened for our kids, man, we just got to be excited about it and just go work it. Just go be the best you can be. Go be the best you can be. Because guess what? You're auditioning to go to the big show. He auditioning. Every time he go out there, he's auditioning for the big show. So, and believe you me, they're going to have people from the NBA watching everything that happens with this overtime.
Yeah, everything. And lastly, we got 2 minutes. Lastly, the coaching staff.
Yeah.
If you want to know the coaching staff, I have a list of all of the coaches in the VIP news on rcsports.com. We know Kevin Ollie is the head coach, but his support staff is some really heavy hitters on that bench with him.
That matters.
One of the guys coached with that Tel Aviv team that over in Europe for a lot of years.
So he got some heavy make them understand the European game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Keep going.
This stuff here, and
got
mind
your boy
you,
Dave Lato, who been on the show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they got some heavy hitters
Ryan
on there.
Gomes played in the league.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm on. Hey y'all. By the way, I'm on RCS Sports in the VIP room, so you got to pay that now to get an event. I'm in the VIP room getting this information right here now.
Yeah,
okay.
and also, so get on over there, guys. Check out the VIP news. But once again, I hope that today we helped educate you guys.
Jimmy, that's a good one, Jimmy. And I got to get the hell out of here. But Jimmy, can you ask that? I will wait till tomorrow about is he dropping out of high school? How? Because you got to understand it's against the law to drop out of high school.
Say what now?
Is he dropping out of high school? You got to understand you guys supposed to go to high school through the 12th grade.
Unless you're a certain age.
Okay. I don't know that rule. Is he close to grad? He might be close to graduation. I don't know. But that's a good one, Jimmy. We can talk about that tomorrow.
We can find it out, but unless you're a certain age.
That's a good point. And
guess what? All you have to do is go and apply. You can apply and get a GED.
There you say no more. Homeschool. Thank you.
You can homeschool, you do all that.
That's why we got. Look here. His former coach is supporting him. Paul Miranda. He said homeschool. Thank you. That's a good one. I'm glad you. That's a great. That's a great. Glad that was a good question. I never thought about that. No, I did not have anything to do with this, Darryl Barnes. No, him and his family. They did this. I had nothing to do with this. Okay.
And also, as we go, give you breaking news. Amari Abram has committed to Texas A&M. The Summer Creek High School guard who recently announced he's going to leave and go to California. He's committing to Texas A&M.
Yeah, but he's going to California.
That further, great congratulations.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Okay.
But that's, you know what?
Hey,
maybe
Jimmy,
might reconsider now.
Talk about your boy Franklin Beverly. Hey, y'all, if I didn't have to get out of here, I'll stay overtime. But Jimmy, are you coming? Jimmy, you set your.
I'm on time tomorrow. I'm on time because
right.
that way, other question that you guys have, make sure you get them prepared for tomorrow on this situation. Because I got a lot of intel on this overtime. Shout to everybody who tuned in, everybody who shared the show. If you hadn't done so, I'm going to invite you to please share the show
right
on
now.
Your way out the door. And that would be a great thing. We appreciate you all, man. Thanks so much. It's nothing like the Chop Shop.
Ain't nothing
like this.
That was good information.
But guess what? It's time to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this Monday. Fun Day Monday. That's what we call this thing right here.
I got it. Jimmy, you said Aetna. If your ass want to know what kind of insurance is, it's Aetna. You got me with that one. But we out of here, man. Chop Shop, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
I got me an Aetna card in here. I got your card in here.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the